T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Rips the helmet off Rudolph's head and then eventually swings it and hits him in the head.
1, 2, 3, where you not Now we're rocking.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's going on? It is officially just over 2 hours away from the kickoff of the final week of Hardcore Challenge Fantasy Football action here at Raider Reaction. Both of our leagues are going into the final week, and we've got a full show lineup for you tonight as the Raiders are playing on Thursday Night Football. So we're kicking it off with Hardcore Challenge Live, the official podcast of the Hardcore Challenge, the pinnacle of fantasy football competition. Then as soon as this show's over, I'm going to do a quick reboot, and we'll go right into our second podcast of the night, which will be the Hardcore Challenge Raider League, which is also in its final week. And then right after that, about 7 p.m. Eastern Time, El Parato will be live with the Raider Reaction pregame show to get you ready for Raiders at Lambs. And then, of course, I'll be with you for the immediate post-game reaction once that game's over. So if you're counting, that's 4 fucking podcasts here tonight on Raider Reaction. So stick around. We got fantasy football. We got real football. We got a lot of shit going on tonight because it is the start of the final week in both of our fantasy leagues. And this is the big one, man. We start with the big league first, the Hardcore Challenge. 32 owners, 2 conferences, 8 divisions. The AFC will battle the NFC. It's a full NFL format, battling all the way down. This is the 14th season of the Hardcore Challenge. And, man, it's about to get dicey. We're going to spend most of the show working on playoff breakdown tonight. Who's alive, who's dead. Because other than that, when you're coming into the final week, what else really fucking matters? So, let's get to it. We will talk Game of the Week. Let's talk Game of the Week first in the Hardcore Challenge because it had a lot to do with what is going on. One of the number one teams in the league who'd been number one basically all the way through. Ryan El Parata with his fumble those TDs took one on the chin as All-Pro Afro. Joe on a 5-game winning streak, and Joe has been a perennial powerhouse in the AFC. He's been an AFC champion. He's back in the mix, and he can make some noise going into the postseason. He's been putting up points. He beat me, I think, by like 4 points. He's scoring in the 180s up around 200s over the past several weeks, and he's starting to hit his stride at the best time, the most important time. So here we are. All-Pro Afro and fumble those TDs. That was a big win by Joe. And now let's see what that does. Let's get right into the playoff breakdown, shall we? Let's get right into the playoff breakdown. As like I said, this is the first show of 4 podcasts tonight. Hardcore Challenge Live, the official podcast. Then we've got the Hardcore Challenge Raider Reaction Fantasy League right after this. Then El Parata's pregame show, and I'll be live later for the postgame reaction. So we got fantasy football. We got all kinds of shit going on tonight. Let's get right into the breakdown of the AFC. We'll start in the AFC. We're going to do it conference by conference here because it's just easier to tell the story. I tell you what, I gave myself half a fucking headache trying to figure out these playoff scenarios. So right now, the Great White. Let's start at the bottom, shall we? Let's start at the bottom with the Dirty South, which is actually the top in the AFC. Fumble those TDs and All-Pro Afro. All-Pro Afro with the big win pushes them into a tie. Now, I play Fumble Those TDs, and All-Pro Afro plays Bucka Raider 2002. So we can play a little spoiler and fuck with these guys, but regardless, these guys are both going into the postseason. It's just a matter of who wins the division and who's going to be a wild card. So these guys are playing for the division and a first-round bye. Also, in the Great White North, Bad Company and Daco's Tuesdays also are both getting into the postseason. Same thing. One, playing for a division crown and a first-round bye. So, it's coming down. But if you don't get the division crown, both of those divisions, the runners-up are getting in as wild cards. In the Elite East, which... do I have to tell you? Knox Vegas Anarchy, dead. Answer to the Master, dead. Bucka Raider 2002. Sorry, Reggie. I killed you last week. Commish's Raw Dog Nation. I'm dead. I've been fucking dead. Looking at the Elite East. Emmett Who. Roger, one of our new owners this year. He's winning the division. But look right underneath him, man. Stone Ponies, who was 0-7. Ryan was our last winless owner in the entire league. And he went on a run, won 6 straight, but he needed Roger to drop a couple down the stretch. And unfortunately, he could even beat Roger, push himself up to 7-7, but he's going to be 1 game off, and all these teams are dead. Bison Broncos, blackout, almost in the playoffs. Stone Ponies, going to be one of the hottest teams in the league, and Ryan's just going to miss it. He got hot just about a week too late. Here is where the whole story of the AFC playoff race takes place. It's in the Wild West. King Salami at 7-6 has won 2 straight. Bleeding Green has won 3 straight. Crawled himself up out the toilet. And under the influence, Matt has just went on a fucking tailspin, losing 4 straight. And it looked like he had the division crown sewn up. Stinky Pinky is out. He's eliminated as well. So this is looks like it's a 3-dog race, right? King Salami, Bleeding Green, and Under the Influence. But that's not the case. That's not the case when you dig into it a little further, like I did earlier, and gave myself a motherfucking migraine. King Salami swept Under the Influence. So that means if King Salami loses to Bleeding Green, these two play this week, which is an insane game in the AFC. So, if King Salami lost to Bleeding Green, that would force a 3-way tie if Under the Influence big Stinky Pinky, but it wouldn't matter because Under the Influence can in no way, shape, or form vault over King Salami because King Salami swept them. So they will always come in behind them. So, Under the Influence, even though it looks like they have a chance this week, they'll create an interesting scenario, but they are also eliminated. This is a 2-dog race right here. King Salami, Bleeding Green, and Bleeding Green beat King Salami the first time they met. So if Bleeding Green can beat King Salami, they're going to force a tie, and it's going to work down through the tiebreaker scenarios in their division to see who takes it. It's going to be, this division's going to be very, very interesting. Why is it always the Wild West of the AFC that's always so motherfucking dicey? It's always Matt and Stinky Pinky, or it's always the Wild West of the AFC. It's one of the divisions that's always fucking screwy. The loser is out. The loser is out. Bleeding Green would take the division if they win because they will have swept King Salami. Bleeding Green should, if they win, they will be in. King Salami, if they win, they will be in. This is what it has come down to. It's win and you're in the AFC Wild West division. Bleeding Green beat King Salami the first time around. If he beats them this time, they'll be tied. He'll have the head-to-head sweep over them, and they will be in. They will be in. It's win and you're in right now. Winning you're in. That is definitely the game of the week right there in the AFC. Whew. Did you get all that? Here's what we're looking at right now as far as playoff positioning. So what I'm saying, Great White North and the Dirty South, they're playing for division crown. And if you get that division crown, you're getting a first round bye. So it's big. It's big right now. Really big. In the Wild West, Just win and you're in. Lose and you're going home. Let's look at the NFC. The NFC is even fucking screwier than the AFC. It's even crazier. This one really gave me a fucking headache. All right. Starting out at the top in the Great White North of the NFC, Just Win Baby and frickin' football time, the two best records in the entire league, they face off this week, which is obviously the NFC game of the week right there. And they're playing for the same thing as in the AFC Great White North and Dirty South. Winner gets a division and a first round bye. Second place gets a wild card and they're getting in, but you ain't getting a bye. Same thing is going on in the Elite East. Corey is getting in regardless. Our two-time defending champ Pack Attack is back. He's getting in regardless with a win or a loss. Now, if he loses, he's playing Take It Deep, who's sitting at second. Now, if he loses, it's going to force a tiebreaker between the two of them. I didn't drill down into that one because they will both get in. They will both get in. It'll be just a matter of who wins the division and who doesn't. I forget what happened between the first two of those. I'm sure Corey can throw it up in the comments. Who won the first game, Corey, between you two? So, regardless, Corey's in. Now, if Corey beats Brian and Take It Deep, Knoxville Assassins beats the Emperors. Hold on. Let me back up a second. Let's hit the Wild West first before we get into that fucking... Oh, it's going to hurt your brain. All right, let's touch on the Wild West. Obviously, this division is south of the toilet bowl rim. Both of the leaders are sitting at 6 and 7. They're both coming off losses. Donkey Punch has lost 2 straight. Could have just sewed it up if it is winning one fucking game, J-Dub. Come on, man. But win, and you're in. These two face off head to head. Win, and you're in. It's Donkey Punch against Black Hole. Raider fan against Donkey fan. Don't get no better than that, does it? Fighting for the one spot. Once, you better not lose to a fucking Donkey Lines. We'll have to shame you, flog you in the street. You can't. Now, okay, so that's that one. So we've got the Wild West. It's a win and you're in battle. These guys are battling for division crown and first round bye. The other first round bye is coming out of the Elite East in one way, shape, or form. Now here's where it gets dicey. Bucknuts is currently 4-1 in division and beat Chubb the first time around. If I got a Chubb right now sitting at 3-2 in division and lost, like I said, to Bucknuts the first time around. Now, if I got a Chubb can beat Bucknuts, who they're playing head-to-head this week, that will force a tie at 8-6. And that means they will have split their head-to-head matchups, and they will both be 4-2 in division. So then it's going to get in some crazy fucking tiebreaker shit. May work down to like 3rd or 4th level of tiebreakers to see who moves in. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be dicey if I got a Chubb wins. Now, if Brian wins and beats Pack Attack is back, he goes to 9-5. Corey drops to 9-5. Both of those guys are in, and he automatically eliminates Knoxville Assassins. And I got a Chubb would be eliminated, or the loser of this one would be eliminated. Brian would just absolutely take the rest of these guys out of the running if Take It Deep can get a win against Pack Attack is back. Right now, Brad and Knoxville Assassins, look at the points scored that Brad put up, man. He was like me. He just hit everybody on their best week. But he's on a 5-game winning streak, and he's put himself right on the doorstep. But just like Ryan over in the AFC, he may have started that winning streak 1 week too late. But we'll see. It's going to be very, very interesting. There's a lot of hope. I mean, if Bucknuts loses to I Got a Chubb, you got 2 teams down there now sitting tied at 8-6. Knoxville Assassins beats the Emperors, and they're 8-6. And Take It Deep loses to Pack Attack is back, and they're 8-6. Holy fuck, my goddamn brain's gonna fucking explode. And it's going to be some shit. You're going to have to go about down 3 levels in tiebreakers, and it's just getting crazy. And this is what makes it fun, man. This is what makes it fun, and this is why it matters to battle all the way through in the hardcore challenge, because you get to play spoiler. Just like I played last week. I'm sorry, Reggie, but if Reggie beats me, he's still in the wild card race. And if he won in the last week, he probably squeaks in. But I ended him last week, and that was the end of Reggie. So you get to play spoiler. You get to fuck up some teams way on their way in. So it's about to get crazy, man. It's about to get crazy. This is what we're looking at in the NFC right now. Freaking fracking football time and Just Win Baby are battling for this first round bye. Pack Attack is back, and Take It Deep are battling for this other first round bye. It's getting dicey, man. It's getting dicey. It's coming right down to the fucking wire, and it's going to be very interesting, very exciting in both conferences. Crazy, crazy finishes. That's why we love the Hardcore Challenge. The pinnacle of fantasy football competition, man. Everybody plays hard. 5 keepers coming into this year. We're bumping it up to 6 keepers going into next season. 2 have to be mandatory defensive. So it's going to get even more of a core team that you get to build going forward. What was up was down this year, man. The teams that were usually on the bottom are on the top. Usually on the top or on the bottom. Everything's been screwy. It's been a crazy fucking season. But man, it's been an exciting and a fun season. I just wish my team would have done a little better like they did last season. But it is what it is. It wasn't a good season for Commish's Raw Dog Fantasy Football Club, as I am going 0-2 as far as making the postseason in both the Hardcore Challenge Leagues this year. I'm just going to miss the playoffs in the Raider League, and I got absolutely fucking curb stomped this year record-wise. My team put up points, man. I scored all season in the big league, but I just couldn't win the matchups. I would lose by 2. I'd lose by 3. I'd lose by 4. I'd put up fucking 220 and lose. I'd put up 207 and lose. It just wasn't my year, man. Wasn't my year. I make no excuses. Fantasy football is just, she's a bitch sometimes. And sometimes she'll smack you around. It's just the way it is. Stay tuned. We've got the Raider Hardcore Challenge, Raider League Fantasy Show coming up. And then we're going to segue right into El Parata's pregame show. And then, of course, I will be live the minute the final whistle blows for my instant post-game reaction after the Raiders put the fucking curb stomp American history style, X style, to the Lambs tonight. There's going to be some fucking chiclets flying. It ain't going to be pretty. I'm telling you. I'm predicting a big win. I think this is a big statement win by the Raiders tonight against a team that is definitely at a crossroads. It's almost playoff time. Are you guys ready? Get your shit ready, man. There's some of you you're fighting all the way down to the very, very wire. Season 14 postseason starts next week. Are you going to punch your ticket to get in? Are you going to be in the final challenge? We'll see. Good luck. Game on. I'll see you just shortly, as I'm going to reboot immediately and come right back in with the Raider reaction. Hardcore Challenge, all Raider League.